goodness, this camera's up really high. Sorry about that. How are you guys all doing? So, I'm sorry, it is a hot mess back there, so don't even pay attention. But tonight, we are going to be doing a grad sign. Let me show you. So we've got the tassel and hat and then 2022 on here. I'm super excited. So I've had some requests for graduation, and this was just kind of my take on it. My niece is graduating, but I'm making a huge door hanger sign for her, and I figured it was way too big for y'all to see because it's ginormous, but I'll make sure to take a picture. This one is going to be just a pretty generic one. So most of like your graduation pictures or signs are more of like your black, white, gold, and silvers. So that's what we're going to kind of be doing tonight. So of course, always, like always, black and white. I've got rain gray, a well-loved one. I've got drizzle gray, which is also one of my favorites. And then we got metallic silver and metallic gold. So we're going to be playing with those as well. Super excited. Whew. And my towel just fell. Maybe grab that. Nope. Whoopsie. Okay. Let me see here. So, hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I went tree shopping and got me a magnolia tree. And I think I'm going to go with a dogwood as well, but we didn't have a spot exactly for it. So our rule is until we have a spot for it, will we plant it? Because we have wasted so many plants doing that. Have you guys done that? Yes, Teresa, your idea. Yeah, I couldn't help myself. I had to paint it. So Teresa did give me one of the ideas, and I've had a couple of others, but this one was mostly Teresa's. I tweaked it a little bit just because it had to be mine. But let me flip the camera down without further ado. So here we go. How are we going to do this? Oh, and I also have the letters cut out for the class of, so you guys can kind of see that. I think I'm just going to glitter these. So anywho, we're going to keep going on here. So I did 2 coats of white on most of this where the 2022 was because I didn't quite know what I wanted to do. But I'm thinking we'll go in first with our rain gray. Maybe. I didn't realize I was so low. Okay. Well, we'll see what we can get out of this. That towel and me are going to not be friends. It just fell again. Okay. It's probably like, lady, you have used me too many times. I'm done. All right. Let me get this paintbrush out of the water here. All right. So I'm thinking I'm going to keep these polka dots here white on this one. So I think I'm just going to try and go gently around them. And then rain gray is also a really good coverage paint one. So I think we'll probably just be able to get away with doing 1 coat. So I'm just taking my angle brush, going right around my circles. Yes, I do have these etched, so it does make it easier. So it's kind of almost like painting by numbers, how I've done it, because I did the hard work of already drawing it. So now we just go around and paint them up. Now, if you didn't have a laser or an etched sign, and it was just blank like this, you could go in, if you have the blank, and you could just use carbon paper and trace it on that way as well. How can you get the template? Send me a message and I'll get you one. Or I can always cut one for you because I do blank signs as well if you are a little bit more intimidated with cutting the wood. Alrighty, let me go right around here. Yeah, no problem, Michelle. And hey, Brenda, I just saw your comment. We are going to do a door hanger, and I think I will make her a wreath. Oh, how cool. Teresa, whatever you want to do. Okay. So I'm just smoothing out the paint here. Just going right around where I have our polka dots. And a lot of thing with polka dots too, even though I'm not technically doing the blotters with these, is you kind of just want to make little triangles. So if you can see, there's a triangle here of a pattern, and that's kind of how you get that good polka dot look, where it doesn't look like it's kind of like all over the place and more uniformed, is by kind of doing that in your head. So just making little triangles with your dots, that helps a lot, even with drawing them out or painting them, whatever. Same thing with wreath making, honestly, as you look at making triangles, you know, with your threes, and that helps design that out. No, that's cool. I think that would be cool, Michelle. I think that would be really cool. You can use templates in every different way you can, you know, so I think it's really fun and it makes it more versatile. Okay, just cleaning this guy up. I'm gonna hurry and just go right around our edge here, just to make it look a little nicer, because my paint loves to go kind of off on the edge sometimes. I'm not super clean with my edges. Go right here. Going right here. Grab right here. Oh, you guys can't even see me painting. I'm sorry. I'm being all stingy and not showing. Yes, I should be available. Yep, no problem. I am going to just use my liner brush right here because it is a little bit tight right through here. So we're going to just grab right here, get a nice coverage going. There we go. Okay. And then we will come over here to this guy. I might have to do that liner brush again over here. You can see a spot where it might not be easy with a brush. All right. So I'm gonna go right here, get this corner. clean up my edge there. Now, one thing that would be really fun with this design is you can take the colors of the school and change it to those colors if you wanted. It's very versatile. The sky's the limit with this one. Or you can keep it very generic. You know, the standard graduation black and white gown. How much would I sell this particular sign? So my sizes range depending on what size I'm using. So for my 12/11 inch, that's usually about the size that I go, I sell those for $22 to $25. I'm gonna have to bump up my prices, unfortunately, because my wood price almost doubled. So what I was typically getting it for has went up. So I'm just going to go to about 25 now, and everything else. But because you're a cubby, you guys do get discounts as well. And then for door hanger and stuff like that, I go up depending on the size, and because I do a bow with them, it makes them a little bit more. But door hangers, I typically price 18 inches around 45, 40 to 45, depending on how much work is in them. And then anywhere for the bigger 24 inches, 55 to 60. So it just depends on your work too, you know, how much time you've got into it and stuff like that. A more simple design makes things a little bit cheaper too. Alrighty, let me get this edge real quick. And I forgot this edge right here. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna get right in the edge here, so apologize real quick here. Right here we're gonna get, and I forgot to do the white on these polka dots, so you can kind of see, let me see if I can kind of get an angle. You guys kind of see how where if you don't have it painted on the edge, it kind of looks just a little different. And so I like to just clean mine up a little bit, make it look a little bit nicer. I know some wood painters and door hanger people, they don't paint their edges. It's just all personal preference. For me, I just think it looks more brought together. So that's why I do it. Okay, I am just gonna leave the little bit of drizzle gray that I have there because we might come back to it. It looks like coverage is going really well on this, so I'm not gonna worry too much. And for the most part, we're going to be doing a lot of black. Hey Sherry, how are you? Woo! We're spilling over here. All right. I can't remember if I told you guys what angle brush I'm using tonight. It is a 3/8 angle. Just a little FYI. Okay, so right here we're gonna just get into it. I'm not going to worry about the clasp part, even though I have it etched, because I have the cutout. If you didn't have the cutout, you would have to, you can either paint over it and then just double your paint up and go over it a couple of times. That will bring that back to life for you. Instead of, you know, trying to do it that way. Same with the polka dots. You could paint the twos all the way and then come back in and do a blot or a dauber tool and go that way. I've just found that sometimes if you take a little bit, it's a little bit easier because your coverage of white, you don't have to keep hitting the dauber with it a million times to get that good coverage. So we're just going right here, cleaning this up, going right around the edge, and then just smoothing out. So I'm just going right around the tassel here. Okay. And then just smoothing out our paint. I have some paint that went over the edge. So once again, why I like to clean up my edges a little bit. And then right here, and we'll go right here as well. Let's see, I'm concerned about the colors for Brianna. They are black and orange. I want the hat color for sure to stand out. What I would do, Teresa, is I would probably make her name doubled out. We could either glitter her name, where it's a girl, glitter is a lot more acceptable. And we can also add in, even though the colors are black and white, a little bit of light gray makes those colors bold out a little bit better, especially when you're right against to get those lines to show and everything else. I'll show you what I mean when we get further into this, but it will definitely make it pop a lot more by just adding a gray, which a light gray kind of works as a white when you're working with black, that it's almost not even noticeable that you've added a gray. But we could always add silver too. Silver with the black works a lot too, and a lot of the time they'll use those accents a lot in those type of colors. Like they either lean to gold or silver with the school. Okay, I'm just getting right here with this edge, and then we're going to go into the 0 and the 2, and we're going to do those striped. So that's why this one looks a little bit funny, is because there's a little stripe over on this edge. But then we're going to go right here. And straight across there. Straight across here. Right here. I've done ones that are really hard because they're really dark colors, like maroon and black. I did one, and that one was really hard, but just throwing in just a little bit of that silver really made things work. Hey Rhea, how are you, girl? Okay, so I'm just getting in that edge there. A lot of the times when you have cutouts, it makes it a little bit hard because you're doing a lot more edge work, and I am notorious for forgetting my edges. So if I do it while I'm painting, a lot of the time I don't forget. So just going straight across here. There we go. You guys, I freaking love my Lazy Susan, by the way. If you are starting to get into painting or doing anything small, it is so nice to be able to just turn instead of lifting and moving. So just FYI, do that for yourself. Give yourself that favor. Alrighty, going straight across here, and then going here. I got a lot of paint built up on this corner of the tube. So what I'm going to do is just come back in and clean that up. So just swipe away since my brush is a little more dry, and that's what's going to help with that. If you grab too much paint and don't realize until you've daubed it down. There we go. All right, just right around this too here. All right. And when you're doing those straight lines, just go nice and slow. That's what will help a lot with the lines. A lot of the time when you get off is because you're working too fast. Okay, so we're just going to get these edges cleaned up. Alrighty. Okay, we are good there. I'm going to leave our black because we're going to have to do our outlining. Just making sure I got the top of the hat. Yep, okay. So we're going to have to do our outlining, but I'm going to go in and we're going to play with our metallics, and then we'll do some drizzle gray and everything else. You are fine, Linda. Thanks for joining. Okay. So metallic paint, just so you all know, it is like working with toothpaste. It's super thick. I tried putting some medium in it and I just didn't care for it. It kind of lost the intensity of it. So you just kind of have to work with it. I'm going to be using my liner brush for this. So this is a 10/0 spotter brush. And for here, we're just going to kind of go like this. So, oops, there we go. Right in here. So just kind of making little streaks. That's all we're doing here. And then for here, in our little dots, we're just making little swishies. Nothing too crazy. Okay, good, that's showing up. And metallic is one of those ones that one way you're gonna look at it, it's not gonna show. The next way you look at it, it will show in a different light. So as I move this, you may see it kind of disappear and then get really dark again. It's just how the metallic works. And we'll do a little bit there. Okay. Then we're going to go in here and work with our tassel. And I believe I mentioned this before, but I did do 2 coats of white. Typically, if I know that a certain spot's going to be white, I'll just do 2 coats and put it on there. It just makes it faster. And then for showing you guys, I know that you guys get bored with seeing white because white's kind of boring to watch be painted. Okay, I think I got that. All right, let me put this metallic over here. And then we will go with the gold next. Another thing I need to mention with metallic paint, for those of you guys that haven't used it before, is make sure that when you do add heat, that you keep it very quickly, because metallic loves to bubble more than any of the other paints. So I'm just going to hit this real quick just because we're going to be kind of adding gold right around it. And metallic's really hard to see if it's wet because it's shiny. So it kind of reflects the light, and so you'll think that it's dry and it's not, or you'll overheat it because you think that it's so wet. So just watch out. All right, I think that's good. We'll go in here with the gold next. So just kind of making little swish marks. Same right here. And another thing too, if you guys didn't care for the polka dots and the stripes, you can always change that out. You could do check, you could just do it plain and paint it plain in one solid color or two solid colors but plain. It all depends on what you want to do. Like I said, there is no rules when it comes to painting. Besides, have fun and don't overthink it. All right. My brush was just getting a little bit clumpy with the paint. So what I did is I ended up just taking it, cleaning it out. That will keep you a good solid line, which with the tassel, I really want a good solid line to kind of go through it. There we go. I'm gonna just add a little bit of gold right there. Okay. And we'll put this away. I did notice I forgot a little spot with my two right here for the black. So I'm just gonna go in real quick and fix that. All right. And then we will go ahead and do some outlining, and then I'm gonna come in and really make this hat look a little bit nicer and some fun to it. We'll probably do a little bit of shading on it. Okay. Well, actually, let me do the shading first because we'll probably get some bleed through. All right. So this we're going to use our drizzle gray for. Let me move this off to the side here. Grab my plates. And then I do have some median already on here. I was working on another project, so I'm not going to grab that. So we're going to put some drizzle gray. I have my bottles like all over the place. I guess I need to do something before I end up grabbing things I don't want. Okay. I'm just going to grab some of my paint that I have already in this paint tray. Pull that over here onto our plate. Clean out my brush. This is that 3/8 angle brush. I'm going to grab some median, lay that down on my plate right here. I'm going to grab some drizzle gray and then some black on the end so you guys can kind of see that. And then we're going to kind of move it back and forth, okay? Getting a nice little ombre going on. Alrighty. Bringing our sign back here. We're going to go right around the edge. Right around the edge again. Right around. There we go. Same here. Should have done this one first, but it's okay. We'll get that cleaned up. I'm gonna go right here. Give me just 1 second. Not liking how this is smoothing in here. I might have to come back in and we'll touch that up with some black. Okay. And then we'll go right here, get that outline. I'm gonna grab right here, get this outline. And then we'll go here. So this is one way that you could do to accent your hat because it's all black. And then now, as you can see, it gives us plenty of dimension going on. Or you can come back in and you can do a little highlighting, and you can do some gray shading and then some white shading, and or gray highlighting, and then a little bit of white highlighting with it as well, if you weren't feeling too confident in the shading. Just another way that you can do this. So I'm just kind of blending in my edges, making them look a little bit softer. All right. And now we can go ahead and start with our detail lines. I just wanted to get that because I knew I would clump it up if I was trying to do lines. So normally I water my lines down, but we'll just see how this goes. I may have to throw some water in this. But it was seeming a little watered down, so there we go. And then I just added the little swooshy because you know me, you guys. I love my swooshies. All right, and then I'm gonna just come in here, do our tassel. Just like so. There we go. Okay, and then we're gonna come in here and just add a little bit of some lines as well. Not trying to take too much away from what I already have going on with the tassel, but just kind of adding to it, just giving a little more detailing. I'm not liking how blotchy that line went. There we go. Okay, go right here and right there. There we go. My brush was starting to clump up just a little bit, so I'm just cleaning it. Right here, we're going to come in add our black just back in a little bit to give our lines. And then I will probably still come back in and do some highlighting, even though we've got some shading going on. All right, right here. And then I'm seeing just a little piece right here off of the tassel with the two that I wanted to touch up. It wasn't quite connected, so just cleaning that up. Going right here, just outlining our two. when it gets to the line part of the other black part, I don't really worry too much about outlining it. I'm going to add a little swishy here just to give some fun. Okay. And then here we'll do our little circle. Okay, and then come through here. Am I missing comments? I keep seeing it shift, but I'm not seeing comments. So if I'm missing your comments, I will come back and make sure I answer those, you guys. I'm sorry. Keep shifting. It looks so weird over here. All right. I'm going to kind of go right here with another little all right. Probably should have watered this down because I'm starting to feel the paint clump up just a little bit, but we're almost done. So we will just work through it. This is another reason why I water it down, is so it doesn't clump up on your brush as much. So like I said, if you're having problems with that and you're not getting as smooth of a line as what you like, water down your paint. Water down for outlining. Okay. Go right here. Grab this guy. And since we're right here, we'll go right here. Get the point. There we go. Right here, I'm going to add a little swishy. Clean that edge up. There we go. Go right here. Get our zero going. Thank you, Shantae. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's showing me your comment and it said like you posted a minute ago, so I apologize if all of a sudden they come in later. Okay. And then I think for this too, we did one right there. Maybe we'll go right here. A little swishy there. Do a little flip. Clean up our circle. Okay. Right here. Go right there. There we go. Go right here. Sorry, when I outline, I swear I get quiet. I guess I'm thinking too hard. Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that. All right, let me go right here. And getting right in this guy. Maybe. There we go. All right, so I'm just going to kind of come right around here, do a very quick edge. I'm going to go with probably a little zigzag right here just to add something, a little something, something. And I forgot to do the center, so we're going to pray that I don't get paint all over my hand. I do not like how that went. There we go. So we'll get right here and then I'll do this little part. I should have done this first before doing the edge. Trying to avoid getting paint all over my hands. There we go. Okay, so you can kind of see the outlining with the shading, right? Right. I do too. I will bite my tongue or I'll stick it out. It's funny too. I've even caught myself holding my breath, which is not a good thing. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do this top part. Let me hurry and get that. Okay. Oh, sorry guys. That's what I was getting. The top of the tassel there. Okay. I'm going to move this over and we are going to go back to our white, which I had some white left over. Nope, that looks too dried out. Eee, it does not want to open. Oh, gosh. Okay, there we go. Whew. Work out. It's because I put too much paint in my lid sometimes. It seals itself shut. Okay, so I'm just kind of going right through, doing quick little swishes just to add some highlight. And this is where that black, like I was saying, when you get too much black, it's hard to kind of get those lines and that visual. So by doing this little highlight, it kind of pulls all of it back in. Oh, and I forgot an outline right there. I get doing these shapes cut out and you forget little spots. There we go. Oh, absolutely. Yep, this is just super versatile. I did this one as a generic just to kind of show you guys, but yeah, you can do any color. Super versatile. If they had, you know, silver as one of their colors, or I know some high schools or, you know, whatever, they either lean on the gold or the silver part of it. You can always do that too. I'm just going to add just a little bit of white through the lines. I thought that might look a little cute too, just to give it more of a pop out look. All right, I'm gonna highlight this little zigzag there. I'm gonna go here. You know, with graduations coming back, now is your time to probably definitely get in on the graduation bandwagon, because most are going to start graduating in May. So definitely take advantage of your audience. So now if you can see, what was once really black and a big blob with the hat is now popped out and looking really good, right? Thank you, Brenda. I appreciate that. And that's what I was trying to showcase for you guys, is how you can make this black blob turn into something with just a little bit of gray, a little bit of white, and you've got something really bold and looking good. Oh, did Susan pop in and I not see her? Hey Susan, how are you, sweetie? Oh my gosh, I cannot get this lid on right. As you can see, it's very crooked. There we go. All right. So, I was thinking we could even toss some glitter into these straps just to give a little extra. Because you guys know me and glitter. Now, if this was a boy, I'd be a little bit more, you know, we can take the glitter out. But, because it's me and I'm having fun, we're doing glitter. So we're going to do the glitter of the words, and then we're going to do a couple in the metallic, just to make it pop a little bit more. And there's my glitter paper. Let me move this guy off to the edge here just a little bit. We'll do this first, and then we will glitter. Where, oh where? It's my Podge. Oh, I overlooked it. So Mod Podge. There we go. And a beat up brush is your best friend for this. And let me get this undone. Thank you. You're always so sweet. Thanks, Susan. All right, so what I'm gonna do is let's put this in the middle here. Glitters are sometimes a little bit harder to glitter. So we've got our C here. And I'm just gonna put this on the sign, and then I will glue it off camera because you gotta let the Mod Podge dry before gluing, or it just knocks it everywhere. So I will show you what it looks like in just a second. So we'll just Mod this guy up. And this is just cut with the laser, but you know, if you guys want the cutout part of it, just let me know. We can always get that. Or for template wise, you can always just write it. I prefer when I'm doing writing, I actually prefer to use a paint pen. Okay, I'm just adding this over to the sign real quick. Eek. It's sticking to my fingers. And let's go here. A little bit here. I just realized I put all of those on there, and I'm going to have to take it off anyways because we're going to add a little bit of glitter to the twos, or to the stripe part. So whoopsie. Okay. A-okay though. We will make it work. Okay, just throwing the glitter back in here. And then this is diamond glitter. This is the one that you get at Walmart. Just FYI. Okay. Ooh, it's so cute. I popped it. I saw it in the camera. Okay, so for this part of the glitter, I am just going to kind of do the same thing that I did with these stripes. Just kind of go randomly. All right. All right, so there's that. And then, like I said, I wasn't thinking very good. So we'll move those off for right now. And I way over glittered because I got it over on my board, but it's okay. Throw that there. Stick that paintbrush out of my mouth. Okay, throw my glitter paper over there. Whoops. I almost put the Mod Podge lid on the glitter because, you know, I'm that good. And we'll deal with that glitter mess over in the corner in a sec. He was admiring it until he saw the glitter. That's kind of my husband too. We have a love-hate with glitter. Meaning I love it, he hates it. But it is a-okay, right? We can always take the glitter off though. Because, you know, some guys, they don't care for it. And that's totally cool. I get it. Alright, we are going to throw that there. Throw this there. And throw that there. And let me lift it up so you can see how cute this glitter is. So you can kind of see it with the metallic. I really think it kind of accents the metallic a little bit more. And then we've got our class there. Ain't that cute? And I mean, we could get super glittery. We could do the whole thing, the whole tassel, add some more into the polka dots, but we'll just go simple. Sometimes simple is where it's at. Thank you, Linda. I appreciate it. I will flip the camera up. Hopefully I can get a good angle without the letters falling. So give me just 1 second. Okay. Kind of picking up at an angle so we can see, but you can see it this way with the lighting as well and kind of gauge how big it is. Thank you. You guys are always so sweet and kind. So you can kind of see, and then you can see the metallic popping through too. So, isn't that fun? I'm excited. I'm excited to start sharing this one. So, I'm hoping it will be a good popular one. So, thank you, Rhea. I appreciate it. You guys have a wonderful night. Let me know if you have any questions. I apologize in advance. I have Haley's softball game tomorrow at 6 p.m. and it is about 20-30 minute drive, so there's just no way that I was going to make cricket class. So I recorded something for you guys and it will be posted then in Kajabi, and I believe Casey said she'll probably post it as well on Facebook. But just FYI, there is a cricket class, but it's not live. So you all have a wonderful night. Haley's first softball game of the season. She's so excited. It's been like 2 years since she played, so she's way excited. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Susan. You guys have a wonderful night. Bye, you guys.